For heavyweights, Richard Torrez and Guido Vianello, who will have a showdown Saturday, April 5th, the X-rays are in, and I think we're getting a clearer picture about both men and where they're headed in their careers. Particularly, the results will come after this fight is done. Let's talk about Torrez Vianello. On Saturday, April 5th, we're going to see a real challenge for Richard Torrez Jr. as he takes on Guido Vianello in an epic heavyweight showdown that will test both men's resolve and to set a benchmark of where they presently are in the sport of boxing. Both men are former Olympians, with Torrez being a 2020 Olympic silver medalist, and Vianello had competed in the 2016 Olympics. So with that type of experience of amateur backdrop, these two men are going to bring skills to the ring that at the heavyweight division could be heavily impactful. When we talk about the likes of Torrez Jr., he is a seek and destroy type fighter. He'll come after his opponents in a crouch and a slugging mode. He likes to get his punches off. He'll be entering against Vianello with a record of 12-0 and 11 KOs. The Vianello challenge is considered to be his first real step up, and at the age of 25, he stands 6'2" with a 76-inch reach, and it is just about that time for him to light that fire going forward. Now, he hasn't been tested as far as how his chin and endurance will hold up, because with the heavy knockout record, we don't know how he'll fare late in fights, and this should be that type of a test for him. Now, in the case of Vianello, he's entering with a similar type situation, but he's had a couple of dust-ups that have challenged him in a way that you do want to see your heavyweights tested. He'll enter this fight against Torrez with a record of 13-2 with 1 draw and 11 KOs as well. Now, his 2 defeats happened at the hands of a split decision loss to Efe Ajagba in April of 2024 and a TKO stoppage by Jonathan Rice that occurred in January 2023, where he suffered a cut over his eye and the doctors stopped the fight because of the severity of the cut. But he was competing very well with Jonathan Rice, but the cut is an injury that he could not help that happened during the fight. So he lost that fight because it was beyond the 4 rounds that you go to the scorecards when the fight is stopped on an injury. Now, we've seen Torrez blaze people. He's a good puncher. He's very strong. But like I said, over the long haul is going to be where his test is. And because he hasn't had late round experience, a fighter like Vianello can take him into the deeper waters, so to speak, laying on him, make him get tired, punch him to the body, make him exude or exhaust the stamina that could come into question. Vianello can take a punch, having been in with the likes of Jonathan Rice and Efe Ajagba, 2 guys who are very heavy-handed. including the big heavyweight Arslanbek Makhmudov, whom he was able to stop. Many people didn't see that happening, but Vianello, who's 30, an orthodox fighter who is 6'6" with a 79-inch reach, he is going to be able to incorporate a lot of that experience against the likes of Torrez. And the fact that he's an orthodox fighter and Torrez happens to be a southpaw could also pay big dividends for the taller Vianello. You see, being able to drop that right hand, which is a southpaw's Achilles, is something that Vianello does very well. So if he's able to box and keep Richard on the end of his punches, he can provide Richard with the toughest and stiffest test of his career thus far, and maybe even pull out a victory. At the end of the day, you want to see these fighters face these type of fights in their careers where contenders and fringe contenders happen to be a point of defining where a fighter may be. Personally, I think that Vianello is ready to take another step forward, and because of the fare that Torrez has been dining on, it may prove crucial for him in this fight if he hasn't polished his skills up enough. I'm favoring Vianello, but definitely Torrez will have a puncher's chance, and if he goes in motivated and he can be elusive and he can show late round stamina, he may be able to pull out a decision. But it should be very close, and I'm looking at Vianello heads first. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Leave comments and let's discuss further what you think and who you have in this heavyweight showdown. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.